Back on this Overwatch train. It's what the channel started off with. Hasbro Overwatch, but that's a whole other story. Figma Max Factory action figure series 413 Zenyatta. Amazing figure. It is awesome. Granted, he is a character who's in a sitting position, who floats around and shoots these orbs that hover around his neck. Does that sound very action-like for an action figure? Doesn't matter, because he's awesome and he looks great next to other Overwatch figures, and he's a badass character. So, quick tangent slash rant. You know I like to do those. I think the Hasbro line is dead, man. I got no confirmation, but I mean, these figures ended up at Ross for $4, including the epic giant Reinhardt. Props to you if you got that for $5. Breaks my heart, hurts my soul that this line didn't take off. And again, no confirmation, but we haven't seen anything. We haven't heard of a wave 3. Toy Fair is just around the corner. Fingers crossed, man. Hopefully they're holding out for Overwatch 2. Maybe that's why we're not seeing Overwatch 1 merch. I don't know. The only hope we have is Figma. It's an expensive hope, but we got Zenyatta. I think we still got Mercy coming out. Farah is out now. I gotta grab her. McCree in the horizon, though no one new has been announced. You know, I'd still like to see Figma take a stab at my boy Soldier 76. But the odds of them taking a stab at anyone large, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see Figma Ryan. I don't know if we'll ever see Diva's mech from anybody. But what we got out of Hasbro was great. And let's take a look at what Figma provided here right in front of us. So I've opened this guy up. What's missing is his little Transcendence Effect. It's here. I just didn't pack it the way it was packed. Side of the box, amazing art. It's not even art. I'm used to saying art because of the legends. So this is the Transcendence Effect I'm talking about. It's in there. It's just not where it was packed in. Look at this nice little effect piece. We'll take a look at the actual pieces, but this is great stuff. Let's open them up. So here's Zenyatta, Figma Zenyatta, in his, what would be his neutral pose. If you play Overwatch again, he is an Omnic, so to us, that's like an android. So Omnics are droids, basically, in the world of Overwatch. They were created by these self-sufficient droid factories, basically, that became self-aware. And yeah, so, you know, that's just basically like another species in the Overwatch world. There's people who are, I guess, prejudiced and are racist, if they are considered a race, towards Omnics. They don't trust them. There was a big war against the Omnics. However, Zenyatta is a peaceful monk. He's a wanderer. He's an adventurer. But he will fight if he has to. You know, he wants to bring harmony and peace and enlightenment. But if it needs to go down, it will go down. So he is a healer. You know, but he does, like most of the healers in Overwatch, he can be played offensively. And yeah, so those orbs around him are what he uses to heal and or attack. So when he uses, and he comes with these, and I'll get these out in a second. When he uses the orb to heal, it's an orb of harmony. And when he uses it to attack, it's an orb of discord. So the harmony orb on your teammates will be a yellow glow, and we'll see that right this second. So here you go, an orb of harmony. It's basically, yes, a yellow ball with a little yellow, you know. So if this Zenyatta was healing another Zenyatta, you would see this yellow orb over the character. And then the orb of discord, purple ball, you know, the negative energy and such. Looks great. These feel like, you know, one wrong drop, and these will snap off. But there you go, and it ticks away. It's a dot, damage over time, which will, you know, damage you over time. Same with the hot, heal over time. And yeah, let's take a closer look at the neutral Zenyatta. So these are the hands he came with in the package. These are his orbs that hover around his neck. Figma did a decent job. You know, they did what they could to give the illusion that these orbs are floating around his neck. So you can see, held by pegs. He's held by the classic Figma stand. And he looks great, man. Look at the way that's draped down. I think that looks great. So over the crotch there, torn pants, his monk feet with kind of sandals, belt, face, no real expression, given that he is an Omnic and So Zenyatta's from Nepal. And, you know, Overwatch likes to have their characters from all over the world. And he's one not from a fictional, maybe a fictional area in Nepal. But, yeah, he's awesome. He is one of 2 Omnics in the game. Bastion is one. You know, he turns into the big turret. He's more the fighting type, obviously. And Zenyatta. Sorry, I'm like thinking, am I right? Is there more Omnics? Orisa? Yeah, Orisa. I think she was hacked, taken over for good. So we'll take a look at his accessories, but man, I'm loving this. Like just the contrast, you know, the upper part of the body, metallic, cold, almost skeletal, and then you got the pants, which are obviously large fitting on his, what we presume are skeletal legs, or he could have beefy cyborg legs under there. I don't know. Maybe his shins, his calves, and his feet are the thin parts. But again, I like the cloth draped over. We got some pattern there on his backside. Translate in the comments. But yeah, this is awesome. All hard pieces. So he does come with an extra pair of legs as well. I'll show you that in a bit. Detail on these orbs. Face looks great. Dots on the forehead. Nicely painted and applied. Good sheen on this plastic for his skeletal frame. This looks like they could pop right off. Yep. Get those on very easily. Comes with a ton of hands, of course. He's a Figma figure. So let's look at his accessories. All right, again, revisiting the Orb of Harmony, which you can simulate hovering over his Figma counterparts, not the Hasbro ones. And the Orb of Discord. So he has one of the hardest achievements in the game, the Rapid Discord, which is getting 4 kills with this on. So you have this on an enemy and then you kill them. So if you can do 4 of those in like 6 seconds or something crazy, you get the achievement and you get a cute spray or a pixel spray. I can't remember which one. Remind me in the comments. So next up, so we got this blast effect, which will I'll show you. It simulates Zenyatta shooting off an orb. And that's how he does. And the orbs go flying towards their friendly or enemy target. This looks great. Little peg there. I mean, lots of different shades. You know, you got a cloudy, dusty there to clear, nice and clear, to a lighter blue there, and a little fireball blast effect. Zenyatta also comes with a pair of open hands, and again, this is the effect you would use when blasting. Something like that. Some pointing fingers. Looking great. The sculpts in these are real nice, man. You can see the like what would be his joints, our knuckles, his joints. This here's an interesting piece because it's both hands, but it's one piece. So you're going to plug his arms into that. And that's his kind of when he, I guess, praying, when he's doing his ultimate move, which is Transcendence, as I mentioned. And I'll put a picture here of what Transcendence looks like in-game and the photo I simulated. And then, like all good Figma figures, the hand stand or display stand. So again, open palms here, kind of grippy hands there, fisted hands there, and one peace hand. Because why wouldn't a monk wish peace among us? Or throw up a peace sign every now and then, right? And then, as mentioned, alternative legs, which I will show you on the figure as well, but just wanted to show you as is. You can see left and right tagged in there. All right, so I'm not as graceful as other Figma reviewers. You know, I handle the big, thicker Marvel Legends, Star Wars, all that stuff. But we're gonna give this a go. We're gonna pre-pose the arm. We're going to take this hand off. We're gonna put the orb blasting hand, and it's the wrong hand. Here we go. So, as we mentioned, Zenyatta blasts his orb of Transcendence or Harmony, so we can take the orb off of here. And all these orbs come off. It's kind of fantastic and crazy and scary if you're not so responsible. I think it'd be easier if I just take this whole thing off. There's the peg. Get it on there. Get this back on his back, which I don't know about yours, but I feel like the peg was not a good fit. I had to shave some things down to get it to fit back in there. Please hold. And there you go. Simulating he's shooting an orb off onto, again, an enemy or a friend. Pretty decent. That's pretty cool. And it holds up well, you know. As I mentioned, this here wouldn't fit into the back. I had to make the hole bigger and shave down the thing a bit. If there was an extra piece, I didn't have it. I followed the instructions. I don't know. But I think that looks awesome. So I did a leg swap there. And basically, let's get this guy off this stand. This comes off the original legs, plugs into your replacement leg very easily. And same with this one. So this joint actually should have stayed in there, and this happened on the original piece as well. But as you can see, this is for his left leg, the letter L I'm blocking. And there you go. Now you got a straight-legged Zenyatta, which some poses, depending on what he's doing, you'll never see. You're playing in first person, and obviously your teammate isn't looking at what animations you're doing. But there you go. So he isn't stuck to his meditating ways. So there in the background, we got Reaper. Here's a Figma stand, and here's an extra piece which will clip onto the stand there. And this, so you can simulate Rapid Discord or Orb of Discord or Transcendence. So it could twist any way. But yeah, neat. You know, I appreciate the effort. And then just real quick, wanted to show both arms plugging into his hands, which are clasped together in a prayer type pose. You'll see this extra piece. We'll take this out of the back. So this is an extra piece. This is the Transcendence piece I was talking about. And that's how it holds it up. So we'll plug this in his back. It's a neat little effect. I don't know what else they could have done. This is kind of similar to Doctor Strange. But there you go. Little Transcendence Effect, which I went ahead and did a toy pic of. With some crazy lighting, some clouds, all that stuff. So in terms of articulation, at the neck, because, I mean, you see he's Omnic, his head's connected by wires there. They went ahead and gave us a joint at, like, the collarbone, which, you know, what would be his collarbone. Very, very little left and right, but you do get some tilting. Not bad. No butterfly joints because, well, again, it's just how this Omnic was built. But you do get, you know, hinge and swivel. Full 360, so if you want him to raise his hand, you just gotta swivel up. He does have a bicep cut, which again, his hands detach pretty easily, or his arm detaches at that joint pretty easily. This is the classic, they're all Figma ball joints, so you know how that is. It looks like it would be a double ball, but it's really just a joint. I mean, the sculpt work makes it look like he would bend there as well, but he doesn't. And classic tiny Figma ball joints there. So you get your hinge, your swivel, and depending on what angle you move the hand is how the hinge will work, which is awesome. So he does have a diaphragm as well. Great range of motion there. I love how it's painted black, man. It's just on camera, it's just like, okay, what is painted and what is actually a void, a black void of space. I'm trying to see if there's any hip movement or waist movement. There really isn't. This looks like it's connected right here, so be careful. I don't know if that comes off. I don't want to try. You do get your hip movement up there, and it isn't too bad, you know, side to side. And again, depending on what legs you have, will determine the range of articulation you get. I prefer him in the meditative kind of squatting pose, so I don't really, and again, he's not really an agile character, so there's no need to get crazy with your articulation, though they did anyway and gave us options. So because these from the knee down or can be separate pieces, the foot pieces will transfer between those, so they plug right in easily, and he doesn't really get an ankle pivot. As you can see, it's just a giant hinge there, up and down. We do get barely some toe movement there. Great figure, man. This is one of the less, again, agile characters in Overwatch, but it's nice to have a figure of him. He's great. I like when I do heal. I prefer Moira, but when I do play and someone snags her first and I'm forced to heal or sign up to be a healer, I will be Zenyatta as well. I think that I'm holding out hope for the Rapid Discord achievement still. So where did his hand go? Great, he doesn't have his hand anymore. Here he is next to two Figma counterparts at about what his height would be. Reaper, they're on our left, and my favorite Figma, Overwatch Figma, Diva. And here he is with a couple of Hasbro's figures, Golden Soldier 76 and Reinhardt. They all look fantastic together. Let's get just the Hasbro version of Tracer, Posh Tracer in there. But again, they all look fantastic together. I think with what Hasbro put out and what Figma is going to be putting out, although they're going to be hitting some figures already done by Hasbro, we should have a nice Overwatch collection. But the odds of getting like Roadhog and Doomfist and Hammond just doesn't look great. So bummer. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I don't expect this to get a lot of views. More people need to love Overwatch. Hopefully with part 2, that'll happen, because they're going to dive in and have a story mode. It's great stuff. But this figure is great. Again, I feel like, man, I don't think I have like large, meaty, beefy hands. But anytime I handle Figma, that's how I feel. Like, I'm just like, oh God, everything's falling apart. But it's no fault of the toys. It's more mine. Clumsiness. This is what I'm used to handling. Something bulky, something Hasbro, really. But thank you again. Thanks. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. God, I just hope there's more Overwatch. I still, you know, tiny shred of hope Hasbro has a Wave 3 at Toy Fair. Who knows? Doubtful, given that they're diving into more 6-inch lines, and they'll just be competing against themselves with Ghostbusters and possibly G.I. Joe. So Figma, carry that torch, please. Thanks so much. See you guys.